Welcome to our weekly reading where we explore all things astrological. From our two different points of view in two different locations in the world, we bring to you a unique astrological perspective on what is happening right now across the globe. So here we go. Hi everybody, this is Diana in LA and Cary in the UK, and we're here to talk about this week's stars. Well, we are sitting here on a Saturday, just the day after New Year, and we are enjoying a grand trine. And so you might be feeling a little bit of relief in fire signs, grand trine, and we, I think, are collectively sighing a breath of relief after all the intensity of last year ending, putting it down, and starting to consciously pick up 2021 with a fresh start. And so on this weekend of Saturday and Sunday, we are feeling a little bit of that ease, even though there's still trouble in River City. Nothing's over yet, but we are definitely having a little bit of a reprieve this weekend as we enter next week. Well, here comes Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and by Thursday, we've got lots of fireworks in the sky. We've got Mars and squaring Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. We've got Mars starting to conjunct Uranus. We also have Venus trining Mars. So there's so much action on Wednesday, at the end of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that could be quite volatile out there. Mars conjunct Uranus is one of the most explosive aspects you could have, and they're in Taurus. Mars has just moved into Taurus, into 0 degrees Taurus, starting to conjunct Uranus at 6 degrees. So it's a little bit away, but it's still got that heat to it, while meanwhile it's squaring Jupiter, squaring Saturn, squaring Mercury. So there's so much action going on right now. We're going to be starting to feel this week pretty intensely. Cary, what are you noticing over there on your side of the world?
Hi everyone, Happy New Year. Well, it's going to be quite a volatile week, but it's going to start off really nicely with lots of trines, with a bit of an undercurrent, but all the major planets are involved. The major planets being Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus. And what I thought I would do, we're talking about this all the time, and the effects that it has if you have a major planet in that particular placement. So what I thought I'd do is I've made a note here of some of the planets at the moment, and what sun signs would be affected by them. So for example, we got Mars going into Taurus at 0 degrees, so that would be anybody who was born on the 20th of April. We've got Jupiter, which is going into Aquarius at 1 and 2 degrees, and that's the 20 to the 22nd of January. That is a fantastic aspect. You know, when Jupiter conjuncts your sun, that's when marvellous things happen. So anyone who's got their birthday there will be affected by that. You've got Saturn, and we talked about this before, so that's the beginning of a 7-year period. It's the culmination of the last 14 years, and whatever has to go, and the rest stays as you move on forward on your new journey. And that affects people from the 20th to the 22nd of January. You've got Uranus at 6 degrees Taurus, and that's affecting people between the 27th and the 28th of April. And anybody who's got their born in between those dates will be having lots of surprises and lots of unusual activity happening. And then you've got Neptune at 18 degrees Pisces, which is between the 9th and the 10th of March. So if you've got your sun there, it's a very dreamy time, very idealistic time. And then you've got Pluto, which is at 24 degrees Capricorn, and that is affecting people around about the 13th of January. So when we talk about the aspects happening to some of these planets, if you do have your sun there, this will have a double meaning.
That's really good information, and that's just the sun. What if your moon was there? What if your Mars was there? What if Saturn was there in your chart? So those numbers get really perked up when planets cross over them. And that's what we're trying to explain to you, that you can really apply this to your life, because it does specifically apply to your life. And that those particular degrees right now are very highlighted. Don't forget, that's conjunction by conjunction. They can also be in trine, in opposition, in square, in sextile, in quincunx. It can be all kinds of relationships that those numbers, those particular degrees are activating in your chart, and they're definitely activating the world. And so what we're looking at in a regular chart for the day, for instance, like today, is we're looking at what the chart looks like for everyone. And yet, of course, it can be specific to your chart too. But when we're looking at the chart for the whole of us, the all of us, then we're seeing these trends, these patterns, these aspects that create a pattern for an event or a trending that's happening in our world. So as we're starting to go into this week, it starts off kind of sweetly. Nothing is sweet right now, actually. It starts off quietly, though. There's a little bit of calm in the air. There is a grand trine today as we're speaking. It'll be breaking up tomorrow, but even on Sunday, we'll still be feeling it. And then as we hit Monday, it starts getting a little hotter. By Tuesday, hotter still. By Wednesday, things are happening. And then as we come towards the end of the week, Thursday and Friday, so much intensity coming with this great big T-square on Thursday. The T-square is the moon in Scorpio, opposing Mars, which is starting to conjunct Uranus. So that's super volatile. And then that opposition between the moon and Mars is then squaring, that makes a T-square, the Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius. And so this is very divisive, this is very personal, it's emotional, it's scorpionic. The moon's in Scorpio, takes things personally, is wanting to having a very deep and emotional reaction to things. This matters to me. And it's opposing Mars, which is going forward no matter what. It's starting to march right forward, and it's squaring these ideals that we're holding together, Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Aquarius.
The trines at the beginning of the week will be a bit deceptive, because you've got the moon trine Uranus on Sunday, you've got the moon trine Mercury Pluto on Monday, you've got Venus trine Mars on Monday. So these are all really nice aspects. And then on the 6th, you've got Venus trine Mars still. And then the sun squares the moon and things begin to unravel a little bit. And I think when Mars goes into Taurus, that will be a little bit explosive. Explosive in language, explosive in actions. It will be very interesting to see what kind of news comes out this week. And also, by having Mars going into Taurus, it also starts to square Saturn and Jupiter. But Saturn more acutely because of the degree difference. So having Mars squaring Saturn, that is quite explosive in itself, without even Saturn being near Uranus. So having Uranus having an influence over Mars, which has just gone into Taurus, squaring Saturn, this will be a week of some big news. And in addition, while you've got the Jupiter conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, it's also going to be affecting not only people with their sun signs there, it will be affecting countries who are ruled by that sign. So some of the countries that are ruled by that sign are Russia, Iran, Syria, Ethiopia, and the Vatican City. So look out for news coming out of those countries, because the news that comes out of there will be very important with regards to everything that's happening in the world. And I think at the end of the week is going to finish with a bit of a bang.
Exactly. And speaking of Aquarius, Mercury is moving into Aquarius on Friday. So this weekend is really something, this end of the week, I should say, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday starts with the sun square moon, and then comes that T-square, and then comes more. It just continues, and Mercury starts moving into Aquarius too. So the ideals are at the forefront. We're talking about what we believe in. We're talking about what our shared common language. We're talking about what connects us, and it's all being kind of shredded. So there's this feeling of no connectivity, even though Aquarius is very connected and Mercury's moving there. So everybody's talking about, we need to agree on something, and we're not agreeing on things with this great big T-square in the sky this week.
That's right. But then on Saturday, when you have a stellium in Aquarius, that's quite significant, especially when you've got Saturn and Jupiter there. So together with Mercury and the square to Mars and the light square to Uranus, expect some very important, even explosive news on a particular front. I don't know what kind of front it's going to be, but I think next Saturday will be a very significant day. But I think this week will feel really nice at the first few days for a lot of people. It's been quite a tough time for everybody. I mean, in the UK, they're dishing out the vaccine at the moment. So there's a little bit of healing going on. There's a little bit of healing going on politically with our friends in the European Union. So the Saturn and Jupiter is having a kind of calming effect at the moment. However, over the next few weeks, they're going to be challenging Uranus. This will be an unpredictable period for the next few weeks because Uranus is a little bit unstable, and it's going to be testing the planet on very different levels.
Right, and one more thing I'd like to mention as we end the near of the week, which is the position of Venus. Venus, through this whole week, has been trining Mars and gently and doing a beautiful aspect. And Cary was mentioning healing, and I think that is an important aspect that's been happening. We had it happening in fire signs, but what happens at Friday? Venus moves to 0 degrees Capricorn, trining Mars at 0 degrees Taurus. Exact, right? That's Friday also. So along with that T-square is this beautiful trine that's happening between those personal planets, Venus, the feminine and the masculine. Like we are getting it. And now it's moved from a fire sign trine to a earth sign trine. So that's going to feel really powerful and good. It means we're going in the right direction, and even though we might be duking our way through, we are having a collective yes to this. We all want to grow together. You can feel as we enter the new year, there's a lot of hope and a lot of wishing for the best for all. I think on all sides of things, there is a hopefulness that is happening, and you can feel it in the air, and it's going to become more concretized as we go towards the end of the week when that trine moves from fire to earth. It becomes real.
And in a couple of weeks' time, we have the inauguration. And when that happens, the sun goes into Aquarius on that day. So you've got the sun being influenced by Saturn, being influenced by Jupiter. So having Jupiter there, that'll be, although it will be a light conjunction, it will still have an effect because of its proximity to Saturn. But that is the start of something very positive in the United States, having an inauguration when Saturn is there with the sun, the beginning of a new period, wherever that period takes you.
Exactly. So Happy New Year, everyone. We wish you a really good and better year this year. It will be. There's still so many more changes coming, but go with the flow of it and trust the changes, even if they might be a little bit clunky. We are trying to grow this world into a better place, and I do believe that that is happening. But as in all things, when we're moving through changes, they're a little uncomfortable. So this week will be that. but keep your own center as you move through it. And remember this beautiful Venus trine Mars. And if you have something at 0 degrees Capricorn, 0 degrees Taurus, or 0 degrees Virgo, this is going to really feel good to you and inspiring and creative. And you're going to feel so raring to go into this new year. So Happy New Year from Diana in LA and Cary in the UK. And we'll see you next week.
Happy New Year, everyone.